So as well as looping on the effects unit, looping on the 800, the obvious thing to do, I suppose, is to loop on the CD players. This is easily done. This is your in loop and your out loop. This is your start point and your end point of your loop. A loop can be any length you want. You can loop an entire track from start to finish if you like. Sometimes it's great to do that if you want to run away. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, it's pretty much accurate, the loop there. I'd say it might be a little bit too long. Now, a quick way to adjust that is to hit either your in or out point, so it's flashing, and use your search button. Now, the search button moves it just one frame. So now it's tighter. You can actually use your platter to change your loop length, but the search button is much more intuitive and it's a lot quicker. You can just get it tight and get it exactly right, much more accurately. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Now I fixed it straight away, which if you're in the middle of a mix is obviously essential to have your loop as tight as possible. Otherwise your two records are going to drift drastically. Now there's a few instances where looping on the CDJs comes in really useful. One is if your track's going to run out. Another is to drop acapellas or bits of acapellas over the top of other records. And a thing I like to do is to mix one bar before the drop of the track, so I can just drop the mix really hard into the next track onto the bass line. So if we play this track here, there's about a minute left on this. So on this CD player here, I have the bar looped just before the bass line on this record drops. If I just bring it up. Now I'm going to use my filter, also known as the wah on this, to filter up this record and drop the bass line in on this by hitting the re-loop exit button and stopping the CD player. So, here we go. This is particularly useful if you've got an intro or something that's out of key on the start of your next record with the end of your last record. So you just saw me mix a loop in, one bar before the drop. Now, what you can do is move that loop frame by frame, the in and out, using the search button to tease in the first note of your bass line or the first note of the drop. So push your out loop button just before, like you were resizing the loop. Now you're resizing both ends of the loop. And you get used to this pattern after a while. In loop, forward, out loop, forward, like that. Now you've got a loop which is exactly the same frame as it was before, but just one beat forward. Then you can let it go. You can actually use the CDJ 1000 as a drum machine, and the way you do that is like this. You find a kick drum. So there's a kick drum. Hit record mode on our hot cues here, these three buttons down the side. So A is going to be my kick drum, B is going to be my hi-hat, and C is going to be my clap. Now, if you're feeling really adventurous, you can make a tone out of an incredibly short loop. So So let's use that sound because they tend to be quite loud. So we can move the loop a bit so it's a bit quieter. That's probably okay. So we have kick drum, hi-hat, clap, and tone. Now, we need to change our pitch setting and put it into wide mode, which means the track is going to play super slow or super fast. Now, if we put the master tempo on, the track retains its key. Now, play the drums. You saw what I did there. This is a reverse function, and I use that to lead back into the drum on our clap. So here's our clap, hit the reverse, sort of sucks it back in. And that's pretty much it. Another funky little feature on the CDJ 1000 is the reverse. Does what it says on the tin, plays your tracks in reverse. Now if you wiggle it, get some quite cool fills. So it's great to use just before the drop of a track. Add some echo. And you can drive the crowd mad with that one, or make them deaf. Something else that you can do with the reverse is mix one track in backwards. And something I like to do is to mix the drums from the start of the next track in with the playing track, and cutting in the bottom end and dropping the bottom end of the currently playing track. So you're swapping the kick drums over. So instead of a forward kick drum, you've got a backwards kick drum, but the rest of the frequencies stay going forward. So. So just swap the bottom frequencies over. What you have to remember is that when you're mixing this in, you have to use the jog dial in reverse as well. So to speed it up, you've got to slow it down, and to slow it down, you've got to speed it up.